Hey everybody, how's it going? It's a Daily Shooter, and I started reviewing flashlights back in the beginning of 2013, so it's been a little bit over 5 years at the time of this video. And I remember the first flashlight that I reviewed was about this big, and it had 150 lumens. I mean, 150 lumens in a flashlight this big was absolutely incredible. Now fast forward 5 years, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Thrunite TH30, which is 3,350 lumens out of a flashlight this big. Let's go ahead and check it out. Now, every once in a while I still get the question, why do you do flashlight reviews when you're a gun channel? But try and remember that I'm also a personal defense channel, I'm also a home defense channel, and I still have a very survival/preparedness mindset. You know, it's very important to be prepared for any possible situation that could come your way. A firearm is a critical component to being prepared, but a flashlight is also another critical component to being prepared. Now, the Thrunite TH30 is a very interesting flashlight, and that's because not only is it capable of 3,350 lumens, but it's also what you could call a hybrid flashlight. So instead of having the bezel and the LED located on the top of the barrel, this actually has the LED located on the side of the barrel, and that's because when you get one, it actually comes pre-installed on a headband because this is actually a headlamp. Now, the great thing about this headlamp is it was not only just designed as a headlamp that you could use as kind of an EDC flashlight. This was actually designed to be used as either a headlamp or an EDC flashlight. So it comes pre-installed on a headband, has a little rubber adapter with O-rings on it. You can just take that off, and it also comes with a pocket clip. You put the pocket clip on it, put it in your pocket, you're good to go. Either 3,350 lumens on your forehead so you can use both of your hands and do whatever work you need to do, or you can go ahead and put this in your pocket and have easy access to just an absolutely ridiculous amount of light in just simply 1 or 2 click button pushes. So pretty cool little flashlight. It's got a lot to offer. Let's talk about some of the details. Now, unlike most tactical flashlights that have 1, 2, or 3 modes, this flashlight right here, because its intent is to be either EDC or headlamp, has several different modes that fit a lot of different roles in a lot of different scenarios. So we're going to go over the brightness levels, how to use a flashlight, and then the run times for each of those brightness levels. But first, let's talk about the battery, because this uses a Thrunite 18650 rechargeable battery that does come with the flashlight. And from what I understand, this is Thrunite's first headlamp that is rechargeable directly through the flashlight. So it comes with a micro USB cable. You don't have to take the battery out or anything. Just find a USB port, plug it in, plug it directly into the flashlight itself, and you can go ahead and charge it. On the top of the flashlight, it will turn red when it needs to be recharged and when you're charging, and it will turn blue when it is done charging. So it has a really nice indicator, and that indicator is actually located right underneath the actual click button itself. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, when you're talking about run times, lumens, and so forth, again, we're talking about turbo, which was 3,350 lumens. That will drop down if the flashlight gets a little bit too hot. So if the flashlight's been running for a while on turbo, it gets too hot. In order to conserve the LED and the battery, it'll drop down to 1,050 lumens. If you run it on high, you're looking at 1,275 lumens for 90 minutes. So without going into the turbo mode, you can run this thing on high, 1,275 lumens for 90 minutes. Medium is 352 lumens for 5 hours. You actually have a medium low, which is 130 lumens for 14 hours. And then you have low, 25 lumens, which is still a really good amount of light. It's definitely a usable amount of light. Talking about 60 hours, okay, which makes this a great survival flashlight. Firefly, which is 0.5 lumens, it's plenty enough to be able to read at night. So if you need to read something, if you just, want to be sort of inconspicuous, you're going to sneak downstairs and get a snack, you don't want to wake up your wife, 0.5 lumens. And then it also has SOS. The SOS runs at 645 lumens for 305 minutes. I guess I didn't mention that Firefly lasts for 32 days. So a day over a month is how long Firefly lasts. Now, this flashlight has some really nice clear glass. One thing I noticed is that compared to some other headlamps that are on the market that are similar in design as this flashlight, this one actually has a slightly larger bezel. It does have some texturing on the reflector. It's got a really nice Cree LED, which is very centralized, and it gives a very interesting light pattern. And what I mean by that is there's not necessarily like a hot spot and then some flood. This thing is all flood. I mean, it is all flood. The second you turn it on, it extends out because of the shallow reflector. It extends out really far into your peripheral, and gives you just an extreme bright amount of light through that entire spectrum. So when you look left or right of the flashlight, it's just as bright as the center. There's no hot spot, there's very little spill. It's a nice concentrated, extremely wide beam. And so when you turn this thing on, you see everything that's going on around you, and you see it very, very brightly. Now, these flashlights are waterproof. They're O-ring sealed, and if the O-ring ever seems to be drying out, they do come with extra O-rings as well. But this is IPX8 waterproof, so it is submersible up to, I believe, 2 meters. They do drop test it and claim that it's drop resistant to 1.5 meters. I've done plenty of tests over Thrunite flashlights for several years, and I can tell you that 1.5 meters is a definite go. I've actually taken these flashlights and tossed them up in the air. They've fallen 30, 40 feet and still worked perfectly fine. So I have no problem that they are very, very durable flashlights as well. Now, this flashlight's very easy to operate. It has only one button, and so all you have to do is simply turn it on by clicking it once, turn it off, and it has memory. It'll go back to the same setting. Turn it on and hold it down, and it will cycle through your different modes. Go ahead and double click it. That'll take you straight to turbo from any mode. So whether the flashlight is on low mode, medium, or high, go ahead and double click it. It'll take you straight to your turbo. Run it all the way to the top as you're holding the button down, and it will take you to strobe. Now, another nice design element about this flashlight is that that one button that you use to switch through your modes is actually slightly recessed into the top of the flashlight. So it's not going to be accidentally turned on in your pocket, or at least it reduces the likelihood of it being accidentally turned on in your pocket since they have that recessed. Also, you're going to see some really nice and sort of aggressive fins. These fins are going to help dissipate a lot of that heat, because you're talking about that much power. You are talking about a flashlight that's going to get pretty significantly hot. So they do have these nice heat sinks on the back to kind of help reduce or expand the amount of surface area while reducing the heat to the flashlight. So really nice design, Type 3 hard anodized coating, and it has some nice texturing, kind of like a diamond pattern texture on the barrel of the flashlight. So definitely worth checking out. If you guys are interested in a really good flashlight, I will put a link to this directly down in the description box. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.